Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today it's Fixed Blade Friday, and I am actually going to show fixed blades on Fixed Blade Friday. Whoa, man, it's going to be a good show. I got three good knives here. We're going to look over them. We're going to talk about them a little bit, and I'm going to explain each one. But basically, I have a high-end fixed blade Bowie knife, a medium price fixed blade knife, and a dirt cheap fixed blade knife. So there's something in this video for everyone. I hope that you'll check it out. All right, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Hi to all my viewers. I wish you all are safe, warm, comfortable, and happy. And how can you not be happy looking at these knives here today? So, yes, Fixed Blades Friday. I just wanted to do some fixed blades, so I decided to do this where we look at a high end, a medium range, and a lower range knife. It's going to be kind of challenging because these are big knives, so be prepared for me to make some adjustments in the filming attitude of the camera. So let's start with this knife right here. Look at this thing. That is burl wood dyed 3 times. Look at the polish on those pins. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. This was kind of a grail knife for me. I always wanted a really nice Bowie knife, and finally found this knife here. It's an extremely well-made knife. It's basically a custom knife. So this is a Lon Humphrey, it's got not a highway, but a gunfighter Bowie. Lon Humphrey gunfighter Bowie. And look at the profile of that blade. Is that not awesome? This is made out of 52-100 steel. I checked online. These are going for $393 today, but I bought this at about $336, I think, when I bought this. See Lon Humphrey's mark there. He's a custom knife maker. He has worked with Mike Stewart up there at Bark River. I'm pretty sure he's in Ohio now, doing his own thing. He makes awesome knives. That is a 1/4 inch stock on this knife. It's a very strong knife, 52-100 steel. If you're not familiar with it, they use that kind of steel in shipbuilding, so it has a very high tensile strength, really strong knife. And this is purposeful. So Ron hammer forges all his blades. This is what's left over. This is the blade after all of this is cleaned off, and he leaves this on, and he calls it brute de force. This is what he calls that. It's kind of his signature thing. It's even on his smaller knives, although he offers knives without it now. And you can also get this with the charcoal cleaned off, so it'll just kind of look like this bottom here, silver all through here. So if you don't dig this charcoal on the blade, you can get it just with silver with the same forge marks. He hammer forges his own blades. He tempers his own blades. These are, I guess you'd call them semi-custom because got a little drop on there. Looks like blood. Uh-oh. I didn't feel it. Anyhow, so let me get this out of the way. We'll get back to it, okay? We'll get back to it. So the blade length overall is 8 3/4 inches. It weighs about 20 ounces. This thing is a massive knife that feels incredibly light in your hand, perfectly balanced. And this is a Grail knife. Um, Maybe you wouldn't want to spend that much money on a knife, but a lot of guys spend that on a Spyderco nowadays. And no two of these knives will look the same. So there's a line. It's called the Gunfighter Bowie. You can go online and you can get a Gunfighter Bowie, but they're all handmade and going to be slightly different. No two will be the same. So it's basically a custom knife. You could argue that it's not, but because there's a lot of this design out there. Up there are some other shots of some other knives. Um, that one is of the Tucson. It's a smaller knife. Um, I mentioned these are going for around $393. $336 is still the base price. I bought this a long time ago. These knives are really kind of affordable. I know you're going to throw something at the camera, but an American handmade custom knife is going to start at $500. It's hard to find them. It's hard to find guys who will even make these things. And so it's really a pretty good price for the knife, I think. And not only that, you have a high quality sheath here. You have a suede insert in this. This is raised. You can see it right there. Really good sheath, belt sheath. Really well made. Not sure who does this. I think he had somebody make his sheaths. I don't know whether he's making them now or same person is making the sheaths for him, but it's an awesome, strong sheath. And you figure that sheath would go, I mean, this one probably go for over $100. So when you factor in the price of a sheath, let's say $75 for a sheath, this is a really affordable knife at $337. And that's what the base model of this goes for. These fancy burl ones, they go for a little more, but you can get them in just plain wood, and they go for around $337. Some of those knives go for like $279. The Ranger, you see the Ranger up there. That's a really popular knife for lawn, and I think they're really affordable. When you consider the price of a sheath along with the knife, it's amazing. These knives are still going in the $330 range. So that's your high-end one. Man, I'm just so appreciative to be able to have this knife. It was exactly what I was looking for. It is a very finely made knife. If you never checked Lon Humphrey out, you should do that. And then the median knife is this Bear & Son. So that kind of sounds crazy, doesn't it, Bear & Son? But they do a lot of fixed blades. And if you're looking for fixed blades and you Google it, these Bear & Sons are going to pop up first. And they make a lot of them. And so availability is a big thing. What good is a knife if you can't get a hold of it? If you're looking for a Randall knife, you're going to wait a while. It's a 5-year waiting list unless you get lucky or pay out your butt to get one. So this is their 7-inch Bowie knife in Damascus. It's all American Damascus. Look at that. And just beautiful Damascus on this knife. This is India stag. They say it's genuine India stag bone. So it's not stag, it's bone jigged to look like stag, but it looks great. Really great. When I got this knife, I could have got the bigger one, but I got a lot of big Bowies, and I said, you know what? I don't have a lot of small ones. So it's a 7-inch blade on this knife, and overall, really light, old style guard on it. Really pretty good job. These aren't the finest finish knives. You can find imperfections here and there, things you might not like, but overall, this is a strong, well-made knife. And looked online today. The larger, no, this exact knife is going for $245, and that still sounds expensive. But again, you have an American knife, made in America. Now you can go find a Bowie for $100, a good one, made in Taiwan. But if you're looking for an American knife, and again, you have a nice leather sheath here. It's kind of a dangler. Fit here, snap over, and these are good sheaths. Let me see, nicely burnished there. You see that? Really nice. Fits the knife well. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. I just take this, which, by the way, this rotates, so you can put it this way or you can put it the other way. And I if I have the preference, I'll put my strap on this side. That's the way it should be. And that way, when you pop this out and you pull your knife out, you're not cutting the strap. And so really they all should be on the top side of the knife. But isn't that Damascus beautiful? So that's the retail price for these. It's what it's going for today. I did not pay that. Okay, so I only paid, I think I paid $120 for this knife. Actually, I think I paid less. And you can get them for less. So it's on the website today, $245, but these things go on sale all the time and you can get them for less. They also offer a regular steel, not Damascus, and the regular steels, Bowie knives, still the same Indian stag bone, sometimes just regular bone, but those go in the $150 range. When those go on sale, they're below $100. So that's why I said this is a median, because you really don't have any trouble getting these for less than $200. And it's just really, if you think about it, even at $200, to get Damascus, American made, genuine Damascus, for under $200 in a platform like this, that is so big, is just remarkable, I think. I don't know where else you could get it. And this is really nice. So just a cool looking knife. Good knife. I've used it some, haven't beat it up, but I have used it some. Holds an edge well. So the thing about Damascus, sometimes people overhype how good Damascus is, but it really will. If you have a comparable steel like 440C, or you're doing a low grade steel like 1095 or 52100, that Damascus will outlast the edge on those because of all these folds. And if you look really close here, I don't know whether you could see it. You really can't. But this folded steel under a microscope, they're jagged. It's like a serrated edge, a tiny serrated edge. And that's why the edges on these things will last a little longer. Now, they're not going to hold up like some of the better steels that you could get, like 10B. They're not going to hold up like that. They don't have that kind of edge retention, but they will outlast just common steels, lower end steels, because of the kind of microstructure that's created on this edge here and these. So will hold up a little bit longer. And they're pretty strong too. So that is the Berenson option for you. And just let's look at this one more time. Isn't that awesome? Beautiful handle. Beautiful, beautiful handle. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And then we'll go to the cheap option. Oop. And that's an Uncle Henry. Now this is a hunk of knife here. So you have a overall 15 inches with a 10-inch blade on this thing. It's not that thick. It's about 0.15 on the blade. Pretty good, but not overwhelming. Maybe 5 millimeters. And there's your Uncle Henry Schrade. These things go for $33.99, so basically $34. And this is a 181 UH. These are made in China. This is stag along, so it's fake stag, but it looks pretty good. And you might be thinking, I would never carry a knife like that. Well, big knives like these have their place. I've got a Cold Steel Trailmaster, about roughly this size. It's a little bit smaller than this. The blade is a little smaller than this, but I've used the heck out of that thing in a camp. I pack it, I strap it alongside of the pack. Occasionally I carried it, but usually I packed it. And I get to a camp, I said, this looks pretty good, but we got to make a little, we got to clean some of these branches up. We got to do this. They come in handy. Baton and wood, they make short work of wood, splitting it up. It's a lot easier than an axe. So big pieces of wood I'd use an axe on, but smaller pieces, baton really is a lot easier to baton than it is to use an axe on them, at least in my opinion. But this is super affordable. If you just like big knives, it's a great option. If you've never really used a big camp knife, you don't, and to get a quality camp knife, you're going to pay up in the $200 range to get them. So if you're not sure whether you would use a knife like that, $33 option is good. You buy this. If you don't use it, you haven't lost anything. And you take this out, use it a little bit, and decide whether, I like it, and I'll use it more. At that point, you can either finish using this. There's nothing wrong with this knife. I've used it. It worked great. It's strong. It hasn't loosened up. The scales are all tight. Had no problem, sharpening it or keeping a good edge. And I don't know, you can see some scratches in there, but overall, it survived pretty good, I have to say. And you have a nylon sheath, so it's $33, right? At least you got something to carry the knife in. And it's not bad. I've had this, I don't know, how long have I had that? 4 years maybe. Carried around some. This has held up pretty well. Probably if you took this out, every day in the woods, like if you're in the forestry service or something, probably not going to hold up. But a couple times a year going camping, it'll do you. And like I said, it's a gateway kind of knife for large camp knives, to decide whether you really would use it or not. And just cool, this would be a cool knife to put in on your desk, up on your wall, whatever. But I'm not regretting buying this. Actually, this knife, if you've ever seen my Bowie video, this knife is really close to what Jim Bowie's knife actually looked like. The blade profile, other than this saber grind right here, his was a flat grind, but the blade profile overall looks like it. And then the bird head was what he had. The dimensions here are almost exactly what his knife was like. And of course, he had a bone handle and not Stagallon. But I wanted to take this. My plan for this knife is to take this handle off and coffin corner the edge here, and then put some nice wood on there, probably. Maybe bone, maybe stag, I don't know. But I was thinking just wood in a coffin corner. I think that would be pretty cool. And at $33, it's good stock to do that. You know, it's a good blade stock. And it'd be a really cool knife once I put that coffin corner on it. So that's my 3 knives. What do you think? Man, there's some nice ones, aren't they? Ooh, I just love this thing. I could show this thing every day. It is just awesome. Look at that edge. I like the choil on it too. So you got a big knife, you know, you're chopping limbs and stuff, but you want to cut some other stuff up. You can choke up on this knife and you can get some really good control to do fire sticks or work with some smaller steaks. Say you have some game steaks and you're cutting them up to eat, or even vegetables. It's nice to be able to choke up on that and still have a big knife. So I don't mind this choil. I like it. And that's, to me, that's what a Bowie knife should look like right there. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one.